Today we'll be talking about how to adjust an electric PTO clutch on a riding mower. This happens to be a Cub Cadet 1170, and the symptoms are that the blades will engage with the PTO when the mower is cold, but once it gets hot, if you shut the blades off, you have to let the mower cool back down before the PTO will re-engage. So what I've done here, just to verify that the PTO is getting power, is I've disconnected the supply line to the PTO here from the PTO. This is the wire that goes to the PTO down underneath, and this is the power line for it, and I've connected a trouble light to it and also a voltmeter. And if your PTO works at all, this probably isn't the problem, but it's just to verify. You have to be sitting on the seat in order for it to engage. So turn the key on and pull out the PTO. You can see that light's coming on, and we've got 11.9 volts on here. So you know the PTO is getting power, and you want to, if you want to do this, I did it when it was hot and the PTO would not engage, and the light came on, and I did have about the same voltage. So this just verifies the PTO is getting power and you're not having a problem with either your ignition switch, your PTO switch, your seat switch, or any of the safety circuit. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the PTO off and do some adjustments on that. So drop the mower deck off, what you're going to need to do to get access to the PTO, and raise up the mower so we can have room to take the video here. But after you've disconnected your connector here to the PTO, you're going to need to free up this cable, cut that cable tie there, and then reach up under and pull your power cord to your PTO down through this hole, on down to the bottom here. And typically that's a 5/8 bolt head there. I'm gonna have to take that off. And then keep all your hardware in the same orientation, so you put it back the same way. And notice that your clutch here is captured by this bracket, so that keeps it from spinning when you turn the brake on. You're gonna need to put it back on the same way, so remember what the orientation is of your cord. It's going down here about 7 or 8 o'clock on this one. Then you can slide this right off. Alright, so I've got the PT off. It's on the bench here. And you've got these 3 spring-loaded studs here. And the nuts on those studs are lock nuts. They control the gap of the brake here. So if you look down on that slot, you can see there's a gap in here, and you can put the feeler gauge in there. That gap should be about 12 thousandths for this clutch. You might want to check for yours and see, but this will probably work. I just checked this gap after I took it off, and it was around 35 thousandths, so it's quite a bit larger than it needs to be, or it should be. So what I'm going to do is take this 1/2 inch box wrench here, and I'm going to turn this screw. Kind of keep track of how far that was, about a 1/4 turn, a little less than a half. So this is 24 thread per inch bolt. So that's about 41 thousandths per rev. I wanted to go about half that, so I went 1/2 turn. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And that feeler gauge, it was just a little bit loose on the last one. Still loose here. You don't want to do the first one all at once. You want to have it cocked. You want to keep it somewhat parallel. So I'm just going the same distance on all 3 of these. And now I'm going to tighten it up with the feeler gauge in there. Until it's just snug. And I'm going to go around and do that on all 3, and then we're going to put it back on. So we've got our clutch adjusted now. I'm going to put it back on the mower. Like to put a little Loctite on this bolt here. It's not something you want falling out while you're mowing. And then you're going to put your clutch back on. Note there's a key on there. fits on the keyway on your crankshaft. You're gonna have to line that up as well as getting your torque stops lined up. So make sure your key is lined up. Remember the orientation of your power cable there. Okay, so slides right up in there. Make sure it's free on those torque stops there. Pop your bolt back in. And feed your cable up through. And reconnect it, and then put your your mower deck and your belt back on, and should be good to go. So here we are. We got the clutch back on, the mower back on, and belt and everything, and reconnected that electrical connector there that goes to the power takeoff clutch, and secured it to the frame with some cable ties. So I have had this running for over half an hour. Just want to demo it. Keep in mind the PTO won't come on if you got it in reverse or if you're not sitting on the seat. So make sure when you go to test it out, it's in neutral. And you're on the seat. Here we go. And there you have it. Thanks for watching, and good luck with yours.